Here we go, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for Twitter reactions to the Hibs 2, Celtic 2 at Easter Road. Before we get started today, I have to tell you about our sponsors, OneFootball. The OneFootball app has everything that you need at the touch of a button. Wherever you get your apps on your phone, you can get line-up notifications as soon as the teams are announced on game days. You can get goal alerts from any game in the world just about. You name a league and you'll find it there on the app. You can get all the Celtic-related news as soon as it breaks. And you can keep tabs on league tables, top goal scorers, top assist makers. As I say, you name it, you'll find it there in the app. It's a great way to support the channel. Please click the link below to download it and let me know what you think. We'll start today with @HoopsLad67. Wrong formation, wrong squad selection. A draw isn't the end of the world, but it isn't good. Got a draw, fair enough, but what are we waiting for? What's going to change this? Disappointed again. I actually disagree there. I don't think we can look at a draw and say it's not the end of the world. Nothing less than 3 points was acceptable today. Neil Lennon doesn't have credit in the bank to say, we came back for 2-2 down, so we'll take the point. We've been in a terrible run of form with 2 wins from the last 8 games now. We've conceded 17 goals in the last 8 as well, I think it is now. It's just so far gone. We can't look at today's game and go, do you know what, we came back for 2-0 down. We've got to take a point. If we were playing well, then okay, you could maybe make allowances for that, but we're not playing well, and this is just more drop points. And it's a microcosm of everything that's happened this season. It's Groundhog Day. It's the same things again and again and again. We had everything in one today. We had spells where we had a lot of possession, but with no cutting edge. We lost 2 stupid goals. The first one comes about for Beaton needlessly fouling Nisbet to give away the free kick. The free kick comes in. Brown needlessly fouls Boyle. Bain saves the penalty. We don't react quick enough for the rebound. Murphy puts it in. And then the second goal is just shocking. Like, nobody challenges Murphy for the knockdown, and nobody's anywhere near Nisbet. And it's a good finish, to be fair to Kevin Nisbet, but the defending is just shocking. At Craig Mack 1209, how many of these results will the board accept? The fans have had enough. This draw will be good in the board's eyes, no doubt, but the fans have seen enough. There's not enough effort in the final third. I'm sorry, but Lennon has to go. This was probably the first time today that I said in the full-time reaction, the manager has to go. He has to go. There's no getting away from it. But I still don't think the board are going to sack him, and I don't think he's going to resign. I think it's going to have to get worse for him to leave or to be sacked. I've maintained that for weeks now. I think the board have trapped themselves by their own lack of planning when they appointed him after the treble at Hampden and the Showers. I think we're stuck now. We're stuck. It's going to have to get a lot worse before they push the button, because we're in the middle of a huge season, and who can we bring in? And probably, maybe I've seen a lot of people saying that the gap there at the last international break would have been the best opportunity to bring someone in, because we've got game after game, 3 games a week basically until March now. So I don't see who you bring in. I don't see how they come in without really any training time with the players, because we're playing so many games between now and March. So I don't expect any changes. But I said weeks ago, the morale will become irretrievable. You see it in football all the time, when the players don't have any belief in the manager's message anymore and things aren't getting better. We talked about it off air just after we come off there, the full-time reaction. What does Neil Lennon say on Thursday night in Sparta Prague? And a dead rubber group, because we're already basically out against a team that beat us 4-1 a couple of weeks ago. What does he say? Like, what can he say? There's nothing he can say, because if there was something he could say or do to turn this round, you'd like to think it would have turned round by now, because this is not 2 or 3 games of a shaky spell. This is now months of underperforming, and there's no sign of it improving. Alan McMillan, just another poor performance and result in this season of seasons. Can't believe the lack of urgency and passion. Lennon should go. That sums up, I think, most people's sentiments, really. Another poor performance. Groundhog Day, as I said at the start of the video. We've seen all these things time and time again this season. Nothing's changing, nothing's improving. Some weeks we get away with it. Motherwell, Aberdeen in the semi-final. But it's getting to the stage now where there's plenty of weeks that we don't get away with it. We can't rely on individuals to pull us out a hole. There's no Fraser Foster for last season. Edward isn't in the form he was in last season. So what are we relying on? It was 19-year-old Jeremy Frimpong at the start of the season. That's who was pulling us through. He's been really poor for weeks now, and he's still in the team. So who do we look to now? It was Christie in the semi-final, but Christie's not really had a rich vein of form for weeks and weeks put together this season. So who is it? Who's the individual that's performing? There's not an individual that's performing. It was El Yunusi against Motherwell, and it's been El Yunusi in recent weeks. But on any given day where one individual doesn't have an excellent performance, what have the team got to give? At Ryan WM94, Lennon has to go, and for someone so experienced, Brown does some amount of stupid things. Aye, as I say, Beaton's foul to give away the free kick in the first place is atrocious. Ayers taking the ball away. Beaton decides to just look at Kevin Nisbet and bash him at the road. Blatant free kick. Ball comes in, bounces to the far corner. The ball's it's going out of play, and Scott Brown just bundles through the back of Martin Boyle inexplicably. There's no reason to even put a challenge in there. Never mind to foul him. I don't know what he's thinking. It's so poor. But again, I have to come back to it. We can't be talking about individual errors. This slump and this malaise is going on far too long to talk about individual errors. It was Duffy, and then today it was Beaton, and today it was Brown, and next week it will be somebody else, because the team is not set up well enough, it's not coached well enough, and it doesn't believe in the manager's message anymore. That is the biggest problem. It doesn't believe in the manager's message anymore. Okay, we rescued a point today, but it's another game where the same sequence, the same flaws, everything that we've seen this season time and time again has shown up again today. It's not improving. It's so clear that it's not improving, and there has to be a change. If Neil Lennon wants to come out and say that he nearly called the 2 goals we lost unprofessional today. A couple of weeks ago he was talking about a culture change. That stops with the manager. That is the manager's responsibility. The manager is the most important person at a football club, and everything to do with the team ultimately rests with him. So that's why there has to be a change, but I don't think there's going to be one anytime soon. Pranish Patel, the comeback doesn't change the fact that we can't defend well, can't build attacks, and we're devoid of ideas a lot of the time. I think we've seen that today in the first half. A lot of possession, no cutting edge, a couple of shots at goal for distance. No real clear-cut chances. I'm saying we get into the game, we get back into the game today, we rescued 2-2. One of them's a softish penalty. The other one is a poor Paul Hanlon clearance because he passes it straight to Diego Laxalt, and Laxalt smashes it in the roof of the net. Again, not because we carved Hibs open, not because we were brilliant going forward. We did huff and puff at the end of the game when we were trying to get the equaliser and then the winner, but we didn't really have time to do much in terms of trying to find a winner. But it wasn't because we were excellent we got back in the game today. We huffed and puffed, and somehow we managed to get there through a penalty and then a really poor clearance that Hibs should have defended better. If Paul Hanlon puts his foot through that and puts it into the stand, the game probably finishes 2-1. So I don't think we can say that because we managed to find a way back into the game and get to 2-2 that it solves any of the problems that we've talked about. We'll finish today with Dubai Boy 1888. Lucky to come back for a point, but it doesn't change the situation, and if things stay as they are, then the 10 has gone. I'm not at the stage yet where I'm ready to concede the league or say that it's gone. As I've said, like it's so poor. I believe now is the time. It's gone too far. The manager has to go. There has to be a change. The malaise has gone on too long. The slump's gone on too long. I haven't seen any evidence to say that this is going to improve. It was poor after Ferencváros. Then there was Rangers. Then there was Aberdeen away. Then there was Sparta Prague. I've even missed some out in there, like AC Milan and stuff like that. Like, it's just gone on too long. 2 wins in 8 games. 17 goals conceded in those 8 games. We face being, and I fully expect us to be, 11 points behind tomorrow. I know we've got the 2 games in hand, so if we were to win them it would be 5 points, but I fully expect that to happen. Rangers at home to Aberdeen, who are depleted with COVID tomorrow. How much worse does it have to get before the board can see the evidence that we all can see watching Celtic? We are, in the words of Betty Auld, we are Celtic Football Club. We're the people that pay the money. We're the people that watch week in and week out. We would be there supporting the team if it wasn't for COVID. But after the fact, we are also the most knowledgeable people about how the team is playing. There's no getting away for that. And I don't want to hear anybody saying that it's because we're all spoiled or because we like to whinge. At the end of the day, we know how the team's playing, and we are the most honest about how the team's playing. And if the board can't see now all of the problems that the team are right in the middle of this season without any sign of improvements being made, then I don't know how they've ended up in the position that they're in to be able to do the job they're doing. They have to see the problems here. They have to see that things are not getting better. And I'm at the stage now, as I said at the start of the video, where I think a change in manager is needed. But I still think it's going to have to get worse before we get that. On to Sparta Prague on Thursday. We'll be back Tuesday with the build-up. Like the video, comment your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you on Tuesday.